The first time anyone suspected something was wrong, it was because Mrs. Halvorson stopped humming. She had hummed every morning for 12 years. Soft, tuneless melodies that drifted through the hallways of her aging Connecticut mansion like a ghost that refused to leave. Even after her husband died, even after her children scattered across continents and excuses, the humming stayed. It was the one proof that life still lingered in the house. Until it didn't. When Elena Petrova arrived in the United States, she carried two things: a nursing certificate from Bulgaria and a silence that made people uncomfortable. She was efficient, polite, and invisible, the kind of person wealthy families trusted because she never asked questions. That's how she found her way into the Halvorson estate. Margaret Halvorson was 78, frail but sharp, with a fortune tied up in old shipping investments and quiet real estate deals. Her children rarely visited, but they paid generously for the best in-home care. Elena became that best. Within weeks, she knew everything. The exact dosage of every medication, the safe combination and the dangerous ones, the location of financial documents, the names of estranged relatives, the subtle loneliness that clung to Margaret like perfume. But more importantly, she learned one thing no one else noticed. Margaret was afraid of dying alone. Elena made sure she never felt that fear. At first, Elena was gentle. She braided Margaret's thinning silver hair. She read to her in the evenings, foreign novels with thick accents and slow pacing. She even hummed when Margaret forgot how. The staff adored her. The neighbors praised her. The family? They were relieved. Finally, Margaret's daughter once said over the phone, "Someone who actually cares." Elena smiled when she heard that, because caring, she had learned, was the easiest disguise. It didn't start with poison. It started with paperwork. Elena began subtly influencing Margaret, planting small seeds during long conversations. "Your children, they are busy," she would say gently. "They don't understand your needs anymore." Margaret would sigh. That part was true. Weeks passed, then months. Elena introduced the idea slowly, carefully: a revised will, a trusted companion clause, someone to ensure Margaret's comfort if her children remained distant. At first, Margaret resisted. Then one night, during a storm that rattled the windows and nerves alike, she whispered, "I just don't want to be forgotten." Elena held her hand. "You won't be." The first time Elena tried, she failed. She mixed a mild sedative with Margaret's evening tea, just enough to test how her body would react. Margaret slept longer than usual. Nothing more. Elena adjusted. She began studying interactions between medications, noting how certain combinations could slow breathing or stop a heart without raising suspicion. Natural causes. At her age, who would question it? Everything was ready. The will had been quietly updated. A lawyer, recommended by Elena, had overseen it. The changes were subtle but devastating. A significant portion of Margaret's estate would go to her devoted caregiver, Elena Petrova. No one noticed, except Margaret. It was a quiet Thursday. Margaret sat in her bed, staring at the documents Elena thought she had hidden. "You changed my will," she said, her voice thin but steady. Elena froze. There was no anger in Margaret's tone, just disappointment. "I trusted you." For the first time since arriving in America, Elena felt something crack. But she recovered quickly. "You were alone," Elena said softly. "I stayed." Margaret shook her head. "You stayed for this." Silence filled the room like rising water. Elena realized something in that moment. Margaret wasn't just suspicious. She was going to undo everything. That night, Elena didn't use subtlety. She prepared Margaret's medication tray with precision. But this time, the dosage wasn't careful. It was final. Margaret noticed. "Is this how it ends?" she whispered. Elena didn't answer. She watched, waited, counted the seconds between breaths. Margaret's chest rose, then fell, then slowed, and then stopped. The doctor ruled it natural. Old age. Complications. Nothing unusual. The funeral was quiet. The children arrived, cried, and left just as quickly. And Elena? She waited. For the will to be executed. For the money to come. For the life she believed she had earned. 2 weeks later, Elena was arrested. Not for murder. For fraud. Confused, she sat in the interrogation room, her composure finally cracking. "You don't understand," she said. "She left it to me. The detective slid a document across the table. It was the will, but not the one Elena knew. Margaret had changed it again, just days before her death. And this time, she had been very clear. Every dollar that would have gone to Elena was instead donated to a foundation for elder abuse victims. And attached to the will was something even worse. A handwritten letter. To whoever finds this, if anything happens to me suddenly, look closely at those who seem too devoted. Sometimes, kindness is just patience waiting for profit. Elena's hands trembled. That's not proof, she whispered. The detective leaned forward. No, he said calmly. But the toxicology report is. Margaret Halvorsen hadn't been as helpless as she appeared. After discovering the altered will, she had quietly contacted her lawyer and her doctor. She had arranged for enhanced testing in case of her death. She had known. And in the end, she let Elena believe she had won. The mansion was sold. The humming never returned. And Elena Petrova? She became a case study in nursing ethics courses across the country. A reminder that not all monsters arrive with violence. Some come with soft voices, steady hands, and a plan. If this story kept you on edge, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more gripping true crime stories every week. What do you think? Did the caregiver ever truly care? Or was it all part of the plan from the beginning? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your take.